All right. Yes, we have the recording getting started. So as you guys are having your guests come into the room, make sure that they're out there as they're coming in. Just let us know. Just make sure that you're welcoming them. But let me go ahead and get started because we're here to talk about the business opportunity that we have, and it's a great business opportunity. I've been a part of CEO Life experience since the end of January of this year, and it has been an amazing experience, and I'm honored to be one of the presenters here to talk to you all about the business opportunity that I learned about earlier this year. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to get into it. And of course, you have opportunities to ask questions. Just go ahead and put it in the chat, and also make sure that you get in contact with the person that invited you. Okay, so let's get started. So we have 8 problems within the industry, and we believe that we've solved those problems. All right, what are those 8 problems? Number one, lack of interested leads. Okay, innovation. Right, some people are stuck in the past. They're not using the technology that's before us. You're using social media to be able to have a major reach. Lack of support. When we're talking about making sure that we have a team mentality, we have a wonderful team at CEO Life that we are going to talk about and mention a couple of things that we're doing and that we have up and coming, especially in the month of October. Systems and automation to be able to really make sure that you're not doing all the grunt work when it comes to building a business and being able to service your clients. We have a system, we have automations that's going to help you with a lot of those grunt and tedious actions that you have to do on a day-to-day basis. Training and mentorship, I think that's one of the best things that we have a part of in CEO Life. The training is phenomenal. It's available. You're talking about day, afternoons, nights, depending on your schedule, which we have things that are available. We have things recorded. Mentorship, to be able to have mentors, coaches, a phone call away, a text away, right? In some, even in your city and in your area, right? Lack of market visibility, personal branding. And we're going to talk about how we've developed a great personal branding system. No proven blueprint. We have the blueprint. We have the results, and we'll talk about that today. Retaining clients and avoiding chargebacks. So if you've been in this industry before, you understand that that's a huge issue. But within our system, we've solved how to minimize chargebacks so that way you can be able to make sure that as you're servicing your clients, you're getting paid and you're getting money in your pocket. All right. So if you like that, put a 1 in the chat. If you like money in your pocket, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1, put ones, put 3 ones, 100 ones. Put 1 in the chat if you want money in your pocket. Because at the end of the day, when you're building a business, you're building it to be profitable. Okay. So let's get into it. So as you come into our atmosphere, our environment, our room, you're here, right? Self-employed, right? There's 4 sectors, right? Self-employed, investor, business owner, right? When you're self-employed, you're working for yourself, right? Which is great because you have the foundation of building the business, right? You want to be able to go through the system. So we have a system that will allow you to not only work self-employed, building your own practice and mastering your skills in this business and servicing clients, but to be able to duplicate yourself and build a business, a system that will pay you. Okay. So one of the things that for me, I've been independent, I've been self-employed for since 2019. And being independent was great, but I was self-employed. But the reason why you want to have a business is that if something were to happen to you, you want something where if you have to leave or you have to step away, that you want a business, a system that's going to pay you, right? And we've figured that out. We've solved that problem, and we've created that pathway to get you from self-employed, only making money because of your own pen, right, to a business to be able to make money without having to write, right? So this is what we're going to show you guys. All right. So how do we go about doing that? Well, let's talk about all right, our mission is building financial foundations for families to empower them today and leave a legacy for tomorrow. We have to serve, right? We are providing a solution to a problem that is out there and that is prevalent within our communities. All right. Financial foundation for families, making sure that they have the proper coverage, making sure that their money is not running out when they're getting ready to retire, making sure they have enough money when they retire, making sure that they have a plan in place in any particular timeline in their life. We have a solution, and that's what we do. And as we serve them, that's how we're able to build a business by being able to do that. Our partners, right? The people that we have contracts with, it's a variety. You're not stuck with just one, right? We don't believe in just pushing one particular carrier or pushing one particular product. We have a variety of carriers that we utilize. Okay. Some of them you guys are familiar. Nationwide, right? Nationwide is on your side, right? We have Transamerica, F&G. We have a variety of different carriers that we work with, and we recommend a list of some of these carriers because they're going to give, depending on the client's situation or circumstance, right? We'll be able to see, okay, well, this product is giving the best deal for this particular situation for this particular client, right? So we have that flexibility to be able to do that. Certain companies, they will only push one, but here we'll show you the different products that's available at your disposal. All right. And how do we go about making sure that we're placing our clients into the right products? They're trusting us as professionals. So what we do is we put them through what's called an expert financial analysis. That's an EFA, expert financial analysis. Anybody went to the doctor anytime this year? Anybody went to the doctor anytime this year? Did you guys have your annual checkups? Right before the doctor gives any prescription, before the doctor gives you any diagnosis, right? You got to go in there to give you a clipboard, and you got to answer all these questions. And even when you go in there, they got to check, your height and weight. They might even need to do some blood work. They're going to ask you questions, right? Because they're going to go in there to make sure that when they recommend something, they've done a full analysis of your health. So that way that when they give their professional opinion and professional recommendation is based off of accurate data specific to you. That's what we do as financial professionals here. We want to make sure that when we sit down with a client, we put together an EFA, we ask a series of questions, and we want to collect a certain amount of information so that way we can take a look at what's the best product for this client at this particular time, what's the best way that we're going to use this, what's the strategy we're going to implement, so that way they can know that we're giving them the best possible answer. We're not just giving them something because we just want to get the biggest commission. No, we want to provide great service, right? So we do an EFA. All right. And the EFA, when we do our recommendation, we want to make sure that we educate our clients, right? Financial educational strategies. That is very, very important. We want to make sure we educate them. All right. What are some of the strategies that we use? One of the strategies that we use is educating them on the rule of 72, right? Anyone knows the rule of 72, or who doesn't know the rule of 72? If you know the rule of 72, put a 1. If you don't know what the rule of 72 is, put a 2. Let me open up my chat so I can see what you guys are putting. Make sure I'm not talking to myself now. Where is it? All right. Okay. I see 1s. Okay. I see 2. No worries. We're going to educate that. We're going to show you right now. All right. If you put a 2, the rule of 72 is simple. All right. So it basically is you take the number 72 divided by the rate of return of whatever financial product that you're putting your money into, and it's going to equal the number of years it takes that money to double. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example of that in the next slide here. Okay. The rule of 72. So we have 3 examples, right? We have person number 1 that's putting their money, $10,000, into a product that's giving a rate of return of 4%. Person number 2, $10,000 into a rate of return of 8%. And person number 3, $10,000 into a vehicle that's giving them a rate of return of 12%, right? So Albert Einstein, right, called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. So that's literally what it is. The compound interest, the mathematical formula of it is the rule of 72. So let's take a look at it. So let's break this down, right? So if this person put $10,000 into a vehicle that's giving a rate of return of 4%, right? So 72 divided by 4 is 18. So it's going to take 18 years for that $10,000 to double, right? So it's going to double once, it's going to double, and it's going to double twice, all right? So, okay, that's cool. You made $10,000 turn 40 to $40,000, right? but it took 18 years for it to double twice, right? I don't know about you guys. That sounds good, but how many times are we going to see 18 years, right? In this example, you're 29 years old. You're going to see it twice, right? To age 65, right? Not that many times. Now, if we were to put that money into a vehicle that's giving us a rate of return of 8%, 72 divided by 8, the rule of 72 is 9. So now it's going to cut that in half. And now you're going to see your money double every 9 years. So you're going to see it double once, twice, thrice, 4 times, right? So you're going to see it double 4 times before age 65. That looks good. So $40,000 compared to $160,000, that's a big difference. Now, if you had a vehicle that's giving you 12% rate of return, 72 divided by 6, 72 divided by 12 is 6. So now you don't shave that by 3 more years. So now every 6 years is going to double. So it doubles once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times before age 65. Can anyone take a wild guess of why are we using age 65? Can anyone take a wild guess? Put in the chat. Why are we using age 65 as an example here? Why are we stopping at age 65? Right? So let me see who's the lucky winner. Who can take a wild guess? Why are we using age 65 as an example? What happens around that age? Retirement age. Magic Mom got it. Malik, yes, retirement age, right? So you're working, if you're younger than 65, you're in your working years, right? So you want your money to double. Okay, well, if I want my money to double, I want to make sure I put it in the right place where it's going to double for me. So when I'm at 65, I could lay back. I could go, travel. I could go and relax and do what I need to do to just enjoy life, right? So this is why it's so important. So do I want my money to double 3 times within my working years? Do I want it to double 4 times? Do I want it to double 6 times? Right? I want it to double 6 times. I want it to double as much as possible, right? So we educate our clients on these types of concepts. So, whoops. Another way that we educate individuals is how do we make sure that they have the proper coverage when it comes to insurance, right? So we use what's called the life method, right? LIFE. So L stands for liabilities, right? If something were to happen to you and your mortgage is still not paid for, okay, we want to make sure we have the coverage to pay for the mortgage, credit cards, all debts, right? So this example for this person that says $375,000. We want to make sure that we also have money to replace the income that the family is going to lose when we pass away. So let's say you're making $50,000 a year. You want to make sure that you have a coverage that is going to replace your income. For this example, is going to cover your income for 10 years. So that's $500,000. Okay, then what about final expense? What about the funeral and making sure that you have the money to pay for the funeral so that way it doesn't impede on the income replacement? All right, boom, $25,000. And then what about for your kids? What about for your children? What about for their future, right? What about for their education? So we use that as an example for the kids. So let's say, okay, we have 2 children. We want to leave $50,000 for each of them. They can use that money to put down on a deposit for a home or purchase property or start a business. So we want to leave $100,000 in total for them. So that all adds up to $1 million, right? So this is just an example of how we educate and how we put together some numbers as far as the amount of coverage we want a client to have. So this is one of the examples. All right. So what is your life number? Okay. Do you know your life number? Have you figured that part out? Right. So we want to make sure that we do that and we calculate that as best as possible because it's based off of your goals, your dreams and your goals of what you want to do in the future. We can be able to secure those funds now. So if something were to happen, those things can still continue, right? They don't have to worry about who's going to pay for, how are we going to pay for these bills? How are we going to take care of these kids? How are we going to, now that the income is gone, right? You have a that you love, a loved one, a spouse, and they passed away. You not only lost a father or a husband, you lost the income that they brought in, right? Their boss is going to come in with flowers. They're going to come with a card and give their condolences, but they're not going to come with their paycheck, right? They're not every 2 years, they're not going to come with that paycheck. No, they're going to go to HR and they're going to boom, put it in on Indeed or LinkedIn and replace that position, right? So what are you going to do to replace yourself? You know, if you have kids, if you are married, if you are the head of household, if you are the only person that's bringing in income, what are you going to do to make what are you going to do, or what have you done to make sure that you have a plan in place to replace your income, right? So something to think about. Now, within our business, one thing that's unique about our business, and I was like, there's no way. I'm gonna be honest, I was like, there's no way. When I spoke to Mark, I was like, there's no way, because I've seen MLMs, captive agencies, I've seen it all, and this is really unique. Xperia is a unique tribrid, and it really is, right? We have the ability to, number one, all right, we provide strong training, right? Support training, program in place. We have a great system. We have great brand recognition as far as helping you build a brand, right? So you have an opportunity to build a career, to really build a business here. Okay. We're not limiting you on products. We're not limiting you on expansion. We're not limiting you. Like, we help you with an exit strategy, and we're going to talk about that in the next couple of slides, right? Also, we have the access of many products, as you guys seen, all the different carriers, or those are not all of them, but those are examples of some of them that we provide. All right. Number one, you own your clients. Let me say that again. You own your clients. You own your book of business here. All right. And we have a high compensation. We're going to talk about that in the next slide as well. Not only that, but we have a network. We have a builder's model. You have the ability to not only own your business, own your book of business, okay, but you have the opportunity to build a business. You have the opportunity to have an override structure, okay, and we'll also break that down as well. All right, so it is truly a tribrid. All right, so hold on. Before I get to that slide, anybody want to get to the money? Anybody want to get to the money part? I like this part. If you want to get to the money, if you want to get to the money, if you want to get to money, put money in the chat. All right, I was a little too excited. I gotta make sure you guys are here to serve clients, but come on, we know what we're here to make the money too. Come on, man, let's keep it real. Where is the money? Okay, I see you. Okay, Mama, put money. Let's say put money. All right, I got Shadir in the house. Rap Financial Services, put money. Okay, I see the money. All right, let's get to that. How? Ezra, you sound good. You sound nice. You got the nice little red tie. But talk to me about the money. All right, I'm gonna talk to you about the money. Here we go. Okay, now you have the opportunity to build a business and to be able to make money in a personal practice. All right. So what I mean by that, there's some people that they don't want to recruit. They hate the word recruit. They're allergic to that word. They are alert. I don't even want to hear that word. All right. Well, listen, you don't have to recruit. All right. You have two tracks where you can be able to be compensated well, right? We have the personal track. If you get licensed, you start off at a 70% commission. All right. Financial associates is what we call it. Right. And we have the track $10,000 in premium. You get promoted to senior financial associate. Now you're at 85% commission. All right. And it goes on and on 100%, 120%. You have the track of just personal production. Just you servicing clients, your personal production, you not having to recruit anyone is not going to hinder your growth and your maximizing your pay potential here. You can go out as high as 130% in commission. Yes, just personal production. It's all right here. Now, if you say, well, you know what, I do want to build a team. I do have some people that I feel like, I can really build with. So we have a track here where you can build a team. And here is the promotion structure. Same thing. Everyone starts off at 70%, but with your production on top of your team production also helps you get promoted because you're showing leadership skill, right? You're showing that you're able to train and duplicate yourself. And so you have that structure where it also leads you all the way up to 130% commission, right? So you have that ability to be able to make money, and whatever you decide to do is not going to hinder you, right? But we want to be very transparent as far as how you're able to get that done. So that's there. All right. So we're going to give you an example. All right, a lot of people say, well, comp doesn't matter, right? Some people start you off at 20%, 25%, 30%. What's the difference between 70% and 30%? We show you here, right? An example of what that looks like, right? That's a difference of, $840 compared to 360, right? So that's a big difference in the money that you can earn doing business in the Xperia system, okay? Let's take it even further, right? So here's an example, right? If you're helping one person, was the one person for the month, right? And this is an example of they putting in $100 a month in premium, so that's 1,200 in yearly premium, right? If you're a financial associate at 70%, you're looking at $840 for that client, right? If you're executive director, you're looking at 1,400 for that client, right? If you're helping clients, four clients, right? Same model, 100 a month. Now you're looking at $3,360. Executive director, you're looking at close to $6,000. So it makes a major difference as far as how you can live your life, right? This individual that you want to make $3,000 a year. Well, we're going to show you, okay, boom, based upon your comp and how you help clients, this is your activity that you want to accomplish within a month to be able to get you at that number. Okay, you can literally write down and strategize how you're going to be able to get to that number that you're looking for. All right. We also have bonuses as well, right? There's a certain amount of production that you do. You have bonuses and different overrides percentages. So we break that down as well. Okay. Next, so what do we do? We provide a wide range of opportunity for licensed agents. If you're already licensed, right, we have the opportunity where we give you that product offering, right? Compensation, being able to own your book of business from day one, the training, right? And legacy ownership that we're going to talk about next. If you have a team of agents, right, we give you that support as well, the ability to seamlessly move yourself into Experior and to be able to handle the processing, the
It's because she's in here.
you don't have to worry about. I got you. You don't have to worry about, back office things. Like we have a whole CRM that helps you with that. You don't have to worry about payroll. No, we have a whole system that helps you out when it comes to things like that. If you are unlicensed, right, we have great training. One thing that I CEO Life we provide training, a study session Mondays and Wednesdays. Okay, we have a dedicated individual that's dedicated to help you get licensed. Okay, and if you need one-on-one training, he also provides that as well throughout the day. Okay, we help you get started correctly, onboard you properly, so that way you can start your career and start your practice on the right footing and making sure that you understand the product knowledge. Okay, all right, ownership. From day one, you own your book of business. So that's number one, ownership of your clients. That's important. Listen, one of the things that's great, if you've ever been with any other companies, if you leave those companies, okay, it's hard to leave. It's hard to, most of the time you can't even take your clients with you, right? You built that relationship, right? You was able to build that rapport. You were the one that called and make sure that they had everything that they need. And now if you decide to leave, now they're stuck. They have to go to someone else, right? No, you own your book of business here. You own your clients. There is no anything that's stopping you from having that part. And then also, if you go ahead and build, and you say, I want to build a business, I want to build an agency, you own that as well. We have a whole program as far as like, okay, what's the residual behind that, as far as how do you go about owning what you've built, okay? And then not only that, you have ownership in Xperia. We have a way that you can be able to own shares into the business, the actual company itself. All right. So let's break that down, right? So these are the levels of legacy when it comes to the certain things that you do, right? When we have silver, gold, platinum, plus the business that you built, the agency that you've built, right? At some point, sometimes some people you can sell it, right? You can pass it down to someone else. You know what? I'm gonna take a break for the next couple of years, and then all the production that's going on with the business that you build, you have a structure of, okay, boom, what you get paid with that, right? So you're able to literally build a retirement plan for yourself. When we talk about the business that you built here, all right. And when we talk about the shares, you have, this is an example of the share certificate, right? So these are real shares in Xperia. All right. So they offer agents the unique opportunity to become a shareholder in Xperia and celebrate in the company's financial success. See, the good thing about you being here now is, imagine you being a part of Facebook before it blew up, being a part of Apple before it blew up, being a part of some of these major corporations and businesses before it blew up, right? Xperia has not gone public yet. So if you put yourself in a position to own shares before that happens, think about the opportunity that now you have put yourself in and your family in for the future. This is what we're talking about when we're talking about Xperia. So let me kind of give you some more examples when it comes to that. Here's the share program, right? You've done the production and you've become an executive director, right? That's 130% commission. You automatically get 1,000 shares into the company. You do great business to where you've gotten paid $100,000. You've gotten a ring, what we call that. You gotten paid $100,000 within a 12-month period, right? A rolling calendar, 12 months. You also qualify for an additional $1,000 in shares, right? We have Leonardo Garcia, one of our EDs in CEO Life. From January to June of this year, he got paid, well, I think it was $113,000. So he's not only, he was already an ED, so he got his 1,000 shares, but when got his ring, he got another 1,000 shares. So you got paid $113,000, and they're giving you shares into the business, right? So we have a whole structure of the total shares that you're able to get is 14,000 shares, depending on the production of how much you get paid and the promotions that you receive. So that just shows you how not only are you owning your book of business, but you're building your agency, but you're also being able to own piece of the business. So I love that, right? I mean, listen, you go to your 9 to 5 and tell your boss, well, what can I do to own some of this business? They're gonna look at you crazy, right? They don't have no plan in place to have you own anything. No, you can work for them, right? No, we have a plan in place where you can actually own piece of the company, and I love that. We are, this is just some of the market in Canada because they founded in Canada, and we're in all 50 states in the United States. All right. So just to show you, so you can build your business anywhere with Xperia. You can be in Florida. I'm in Florida, but I have an agent that's in South Carolina. Right. I have agents that I work with, my partners in Georgia. Right. So you can have agents across the state and still be able to build a business and get overrides and be able to make money together. All right. So our back office is top tier. And when I say that, I really mean that. I'm a guy that loves systems, and this is top tier. We offer expert financial analysis. Like we said, we have a system in the back office that helps you structure that and create that with your clients. We have quoting tools that helps you with quoting proper quotes for your clients. We have a CRM system that tracks underwriting, that monitors your business, your daily business. If there's something that needs to be done, if there's something that's getting ready to expire, your E&O or your licensing or whatever case may be, right? We have that in place where it helps track that for you and prepare you for those things so you don't miss those deadlines. We have a Telegram system that allows you to stay connected with all the other agents and business owners and agency owners, where we celebrate each other, celebrate our wins. We learn about the tricks, tips and tricks that's working. Oh, listen, I posted this on social media and it was able to get me, some leads, some clients, or whatever case may be. Oh man, I did this, I did right. So we help each other with strategies, right? We're not stingy. We share what's working, what's because there's trends, there's things that go viral. You know what? Listen, people are loving, this is helping me get certain clients, talking about living benefits, or talking about making sure products, things when it comes to final expense, or things when it comes to IULs, or things when it comes to term, whatever it is, retirement, annuities, right? So we stay in the know when we have or when within Telegram groups, and branding and marketing. And I'm gonna show you an example of that we help you customize your brand. Everyone has their niche, Everyone has their what we call a je ne sais quoi. Yeah, yeah, I know French. I know a little bit, right? Just so that way you can be you, right? We don't want you to be no one else but yourself. Okay, so we have a system. Yes, we want everyone to have a system, but add your, little you to it, so that way you can be you. So we help you when it comes to your brand. So and we'll show that. But here's some pictures of the back office, right? Everything. If you're new and you love information, we have a lot of information. You can find anything here. Okay. Here's the back office that talks about the production, right? Who are the production leaders in the group, in the state, in the nation, right? And if you want a competitive person, okay, this person is number one. I want to make sure I beat this person or whatever case may be, so you can use that competitive juice, that competitive spirit to help you, when it comes to, your activity, right? So I love this is with Canada, right? And we're transparent with our commissions where okay, boom, you got paid. This is how much you got paid. This is the client. And we tell you exactly, okay, boom, based on your commission structure, this is how much you got paid while serving this client, right? So we're very, very transparent with that. All right. And here are the rings. When we talked about getting that cash flow within a rolling 12 months, right? We want to recognize you, right? There's no better way, no better feeling than to be recognized, right? Than to be recognized. Yes, it's good to get the money, but it's also good to be recognized for the work that you do, the leadership that you brought in, the effort that you've put in. Okay. So we want to make sure that we recognize you, and you get the nice ring, right? So we have all the different categories of rings, okay? And here's some other categories of rings: $1 million ring, $2 million ring. So this is the cash flow recognition that you have, okay? All right. So here is the marketing part, right? What we do to help you market to your own market your own brand. All right. So here's an example of
But
some
the things
videos.
we insure in life, when
So I'm gonna let it play, but this is Leonardo Garcia, right? This is one of our EDs. So this is one of the things that he put out there on social media that's helping him to get a lot of leads. Okay.
about the things we insure in life, we insure our cell phones, we insure our TVs, we get insurance for our cars, we even insure our furniture. These things are replaceable, yet we forget to insure the one thing that's irreplaceable, and that is ourselves. I was just thinking about years ago, it was about 5 years ago now, when my brother passed away. He was 43. He passed away and he didn't have insurance. And I thank God to this day that I was able to help my mom find the funds to bury him, to relieve her of that burden. Do you realize that being properly insured only costs you anywhere between $2 to $5 a day? It is cheaper to really completely insure yourself than it is to buy a cup of coffee. Ladies and gentlemen, it's real simple. Take some time, click the link below. Let's have a conversation and help me help you. Make sure you don't have to go through the same burdens I had to go through. I'll see you on the other side. God bless.
All right. So we help you with that. We have a whole marketing team that you can utilize to be able to help you put together videos like this, right? Or you have some other use your creativity to be able to put things like this for yourself, to be able to get attention and to draw people to you, right? We want to be able to bring people to us and attract people to us, and instead of having to chase down. I mean, is to be able to go down, door to door. It's cool, right? Nothing wrong. There's people that have been very successful going door to door or going out, whatever case may be. But I mean, to utilize the technology, especially utilizing social media, right? There's a difference, right? You can spend all day in a neighborhood and knock on 20, 30 doors, right? And maybe you might find someone, maybe you might talk to someone, but to be able to maximize something like social media where you can reach hundreds of people, now you're talking about something that can be very, very powerful for you and your business. So I'm gonna show another video.
Who will take care of your home if you were severely injured, disabled, or even passed away unexpectedly? You want your family to keep it, but the lenders want to get paid. Lenders protect themselves during the home buyer process. If you put less than 20%, they require PMI, private mortgage insurance, to shield them if you default. They insist on homeowners insurance to protect themselves, to protect their investment if anything happens to the property. But what protects you? If you pass away, become disabled, or fall ill, and you can't pay your mortgage, your lender won't be calling you with sympathy. This year alone, over 300,000 homes went into foreclosure for that very reason. Without mortgage protection, you could be next. Mortgage protection is your safeguard against life's uncertainties. It is an affordable plan that ensures you keep your home by covering the mortgage if the primary income provider cannot work or passes away. Your home is more than just a building. It's where your family is built. Protect yourself from the unexpected. Click the link below and have one of our licensed brokers secure your home's future. Be blessed.
I don't know about you guys, but he looked like a boss, right? It's when you ever seen those pictures with people crossing their arms, like it's good. But this brings business to life. This brings your business to life. So there's a lot of other videos, but I want
What
to
is the job you're
so
waiting
you can see the variety of things that you could do utilizing your creativity and utilizing the resources that we have available. So at the end of the day, we want to ask you guys a question, or you guys may be asking the question, why partner, right? Why partner with us, right? We're shaking up the traditional industry, and we definitely are doing that. All right. For customers, we help impact people's lives by providing them sound financial solutions. We're not just pushing a product, right? We're actually figuring out, okay, based on their circumstances, based on their situation, what's the best plan for them. Okay. For you, we're doing this for you, right? We're able to have fun. We have a great time. We just had a mastermind in Atlanta a couple weeks last month, and we had a blast. We had a blast. We had a great time, bonding with one another. But we to learn. We had different carriers come in and educate us on different products. We spoke about different best practices. We gave, we those successful was able to sit down with us and give us their tips, what made them successful, and we was able to use that. And right, so we're here to help each other earn money together. Okay, we're not a stingy group, and that's one of the things I love about what we do as a team here, and an opportunity to change the world. We know what's going on in our communities. We know what's going on in families. And there's a lot of individuals that are not properly educated in what's available to them, what they can qualify for. Right. So we're going to change the world with what we do, because this is something different. All right. So now the floor is yours. Right. So now we ask you to, hey, put what have you chosen to do from this presentation, from this conversation. We want you to put in the chat if you've been brought here and to look at this to look at this opportunity. We want you to let us know, hey, I'm all in. So put an A in the chat if you're all in. Right, send me contracting paperwork. I'm ready to get started. Put an A in the chat. B, I'm in, but I have some questions. No problem, right? We have breakout rooms that we can put you in, and the person that invited you, so that way you can have some more answers, some more questions answered. All right, we want to make sure that that is there for you. And then C, see you later. This isn't the right time for me now, right? But stay in contact. Might be later. It might be a good opportunity for me at a later time. No problem. Hey, be real, be honest. Listen, you're not gonna hurt our feelings, right? We're here to give you the opportunity. It's up to you to decide how you want to utilize that opportunity. All right. So I see B. Okay, Malik. All right. So you have some questions. We have Steven. C.